Hi, I'm Amy, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about the myofascial stretching course that I'm offering here at Mayor Wellness. So who am I, and what is this course all about? So I am an advanced practitioner in the use of myofascial release as an intervention for pain. I'm an advanced practitioner who has been using this technique, trained in the John Barnes method for over 26 years. I have a doctorate degree in occupational therapy, so I've worked with people of all ages with all kinds of abilities, disabilities, injuries, illnesses. I also have certifications in ergonomics and body alignment, yoga instruction, holistic stress management, and I love working with all different kinds of people and helping people find practical ways that they can manage their pain, ways that they can integrate simple things into their daily life. And I also am pretty passionate about helping people understand what is the fascial system and how does this affect my pain and my life. So let me tell you a little bit about that, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the class. If you want to know more about the fascial system in more depth, you can go to my website. I have other videos explaining it and other information on the website. But let me give you just kind of a 2-minute overview. So there's been research going on about the fascial system for the last 2 to 3 decades, but a lot of it's happening in other countries, and it's kind of beginning to creep into the United States, and it's more getting out to the public via popular culture. We get a little bit of information through the media and in the health arena, but we're getting a lot more actually through the beauty arena, surprisingly. And then there's some coming in through athletics as well. So you may have heard a little bit about the fascial system and things that you can do to affect your fascial system, and I'll talk about that shortly. But what we know, what's proven about the fascial system is it's a connective system that runs head to toe, fingertip to fingertip throughout your entire body, and it's this very hydrated web that is this 3-dimensional connection through your whole body. So, and its functions are primarily, it covers everything and it runs through everything and around everything, but its function is to support your body and help your body glide and move. And a good example of that is in your forearm. There's lots of different muscles that run your wrist and your fingers, and they all give you this wonderful ability to move so specifically. So if we think about myofascial release, the fascia covers each one of the different muscles that runs through the forearm, and then it covers the groups of them together so that they function better and glide individually, but they also can function well as a group. So so that's one big piece of it. It helps everything glide and move and function better. Another big piece of the fascial system is it has a big protective function. So if you have an injury, whether that is an impact or whether it's a repetitive injury with over and over and over hard movements, gripping and turning over and over, the fascial system's job is to protect you. So what it will do, especially in an impact, is that web that's very hydrated and loosely woven that moves and helps support you as you move, tightens up. And when it does that, it squishes out its fluid and compacts down in order to provide a protective layer, so to speak, around these tissues. So when it does that, it becomes extremely thick and extremely tough and will become the hardest, not the hardest, but the strongest substance in the body. So then after that impact, why doesn't it go just back to normal? Well, it doesn't always go back to normal because in our culture, we tend to splint things. We tend to put things in a sling. We don't move enough after an injury, generally. We don't drink enough fluids. We don't eat healthy enough foods. We tend to develop these protective patterns over long periods of time. So there's multiple reasons why, and some of this is just theory at this point, but we do know that it has this protective function and it can stay tight over long periods of time and actually develop more compensatory patterns of movement and pull our bodies into misalignment. And once the fascia is tight in one area of the body, because it's this three-dimensionally interconnected web, it can begin pulling in lots of other parts of the body and begin to cause problems there when we're thinking, well, what did I do to my hip? I've never injured my hip, but it hurts now. It could be fascial system involvement, and it's beginning to pull in places because of this connection, this three-dimensional connection. So how do we change that? One way is through stretching, and not the same kind of stretching that your gym teacher taught you in elementary school. It takes a long, slow stretch. And when I'm working with people one-to-one and I'm actually applying pressure into their bodies, part of the uniqueness or the art to what I do is finding that just right amount of tension to put in their bodies in order to get the fascial system to yield and soften and lengthen and rehydrate and function normally again. So we can do that ourselves through stretching in a similar manner. So this class is going to teach you how to find that just right amount of tension to put in your body in order to get your fascia to yield. Because if your fascia is tight, then it's going to rule, and you can stretch your muscles, but you'll find that it's very temporary relief or temporary elongation. So if you stretch your fascia, you're going to pull your muscles right along with that. So we're really looking for a low load, long duration stretch. And in the class, we'll use some different tools, which I want to talk about. Well, let's talk about this first. A lot of people are using rollers these days, and they're putting them on their legs, on their backs, and they're just rolling over them. You may be able to reduce some restrictions in your fascia by doing that, but that will likely also be somewhat temporary because you're not getting that sustained gentle stretch into the system. You're smashing it. So you're also smashing a lot of other things when you're using a roller. So you can actually potentially do some damage using a roller, especially if you're using it with way too much pressure. So be cautious about these things. Also, it's flattening. It's not getting in between muscles and tissues. So if you are going to roll, a better option would be something like this guy, because the bumps can get kind of between things, and better to roll extremely gently and slowly, find the points of tenderness and hold, and then move. Okay, so this is a better option, but an even better option are use of the yoga therapy balls. And you can use them together or you can use them separately, but we'll learn how to use these effectively from head to toe, fingertip to fingertip, to get relief where your body needs it. Other tools that we'll use in the class, yoga blocks, okay? So we're not necessarily going to do yoga, but using something like a yoga block can help you find that just right amount of pressure. For example, if we're doing a forward fold or we're reaching down to touch our toes, reaching all the way to the floor, one, might not be possible for you, but two, it might be way too much pressure into the system. So having a block to put your hands on, or even a chair or something like that, allows you to find that just right stretch for your body. Whoops. Another tool is a little bit bigger ball. So you also have fascia in your tummy area, your abdomen area, and in your chest. And having a ball that's a little bit bigger and a little bit softer is something that we'll show how to use that. If you have abdominal scars, that is often a big connection with the fascial system and can cause problems in other parts of the body. So a softer ball like this, and I should point out too that these have give to them. When you're stretching into your fascia, you should always find something with a little bit of give to it. You don't want a super hard ball to roll on. We'll also use a yoga strap. So this will allow you to reach your feet to do some deeper leg stretching in different positions, depending on what positions are easiest for you to get into. And then finally, we have the half roller, which is wonderful for doing calf stretching. And I'll show you how to use this for the best stretch in the world. There's also some instructions on my website on how to do this stretch as well. Now, the other big piece of learning how to stretch your body properly is stretching your body in the best possible alignment. You want to make sure that your body is stacked up properly and you're honoring your low back curve and your shoulders are back before you're doing a deep stretch, because you want it to be in the best alignment, stacked up the way you should be, and then get the release. So a big chunk of the class is looking at you and your body and what is the best alignment for you to be in. And I like to have my classes small so I can keep eyes on everybody and make sure that we're continually tweaking your alignment, because it's super easy to get out of alignment because our brains are so interconnected with our bodies, and what we feel is normal isn't necessarily neutral or good alignment. So continually being reminded of that is an important part for getting yourself started in a good fascial stretching program. So you can get on the website, or you can go to Schedulicity and see when the next offering is for the myofascial stretching course. And if you have any questions, you can always email me at marewellness@gmail.com. Thank you.